Hi, good evening. This is Rob Butler. Good evening, boys and girls, moms and dads, dogs and cats. I'm just here to kind of show you today how to play Jimi Hendrix's Manic Depression. It's off of his first record called Are You Experienced? That record came out in 1967. At that time, I was just a wee young lad and didn't know much about music, and certainly didn't know who Jimi Hendrix was or much about guitar playing or anything else. But when I started getting into guitar and I knew who Hendrix was and I heard that song, it just kind of blew me away. The song itself is in 3/4 time. It's in the key of A, and 4/4. Most rock music, pop music, country music is in what's called 4/4 time, and that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3/4 is 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. So it's got a different feel to it rhythmically, and it's based off of 3 counts instead of 4 counts. So this song is in 3/4 time in the key of A. And the drummer on this is Mitch Mitchell from, he played with Jimi during the Jimi Hendrix experience. He even played with Jimi after the experience disbanded, and, Jimi played at Woodstock. Just a great drummer. Had kind of a jazz technique, the way he held the sticks and the way he worked his way around the kit. Just a great, phenomenal drummer. When you listen to this song, listen to the interplay in this 3/4 time between the drums, the rhythm section, the bass guitar, which makes up the rhythm section of Noel Redding. Jimi might even play bass on that, I'm not sure. But and then Jimi on guitar. It's just an incredible piece of music. And most of this music, if not all of it, there's no chords being played at all in this song. It's all single note interplay and double stops. So basically that's what he was doing. So when I give you a lesson too, I want to basically talk to you about theory to go along with what we're doing. You might be sitting there saying, I don't want to know theory, I just want to be a guitar player. There's a lot of good guitar players that don't know any theory, and I think that's kind of a lazy approach and kind of a dumbing down approach, and that's maybe true, but there's certainly a lot of great guitar players out there that know theory and know their way around the fretboard. So I would encourage you as a guitar player to learn theory, learn every note on the computer, on the guitar, and also know your way around, different scales and different chords and what to play over certain chord progressions. They'll just make you a better guitar player. So basically we'll start it off. The song starts off, it's in the key of A, but it starts off on the 4th note of the scale, which is a D, and then it plays the flatted 5th. This is just a chromatic walk-up, which is the E flat, and then the E. Then it goes up to the G, which is the 7th note in the scale, the G sharp, and then to the A, which is the octave. It plays the A. So basically it sounds like this. And I would encourage you to use up and down picking, alternate picking. Again, that intro is 1, 2, 3. So it just does that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then it goes into a repeating pattern that works off of a drone note in the key of A. I'm going to stand up for this. It's just easier for me to play. And I would say mute with your right hand to keep out any unwanted noise. And I'll kind of show you what's going on here. So basically you hit the open A. You can even hit some harmonics when you're hitting it. Sounds kind of cool. So I'm basically hitting that open A, muting it, and coming back and hitting that A. You could even come up here and play it. Hit the open A and come down here to the 5th position and 7th position. And you're just playing back and forth between that A and G. So that's the kind of the intro before the vocals kick in. Once the vocals kick in, it's basically played off of the A major, the first, the third, the A major triad, which is an A note, a C sharp, and an E. Then he goes down to G and does the same pattern. So down there it's a G, B, and D. It's the same major triad, and it goes like this. And that's where the vocals come in. Then that chromatic walk up. then repeats it. Then the turnaround is the same triad, the A major triad, the G major triad, but then it does the turnaround between D and C, D and C, D and C, then C and B, C and B, C and B, then G, F sharp, G, F sharp, G, F sharp. Then it does the triad again, then it walks up. So I'll give you the example of that. So here's the verse. So it does that walk up again. So that turnaround is so D, so D to C, C to B, and then G to F sharp. So it goes into the second verse. And the second verse is like the first verse exactly, but instead of coming back and doing that, it does a double stop bend. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So the double stop bend, he's basically he's bending that D note up to E. And he's holding the E note at the 5th fret B string, the second string up. That's the D note, or that's a E note rather, and he's taking that D. When you bend it to pitch, you release it, and you might want to mute with your right hand so you don't pick up any unwanted noise. And the way the verse goes is then it does the turnaround again. Then it goes back to the, that rotating pattern off that pedal note. Then he goes into the solo. He does that double stop bend. So he does that double stop bend in the 5th position, moves up to the 8th position, which is the minor third, moves up to the 10th position, moves up to the 12th position. He's still doing those double stop bends. And he goes up to the 17th position, which is an octave away from where he started. Then he goes into the solo, which is a wild pentatonic thing. He probably has never played that twice the same. I've seen him play it live, and it was nothing near what he did in the studio. The studio was just a one-off thing. I'm not going to show you that solo today. I'm just showing you how to play the structure of the song. So coming out of the solo, he goes back into the last verse. And it's basically that triad again in the chromatic walk-up. But now he goes back to that pedal tone like he did the first time. Now the turnaround. So then he starts going into that walk-up. He starts singing Manic Depression is a frustrating mess. And he's not doing any more verses. He's just doing that chromatic walk-up. goes up to the 10th position and plays that. And he goes, then again. Then he starts the doubling up of that walk-up pattern. Then he's singing music sweet, music sweet, music sweet, music, you know, something along to that effect, but he just keeps playing that chromatic walk up. The band's just playing that over and over. Then the end of the song, they hit a C note, G note, D note, and I don't even think he hits a chord. He probably just hits the whammy. That's what I did. Anyway, listen to the song, get the vibe of it. The ending there, kind of count out. If you're really wanting to nail that song note for, you know, pattern by pattern, go through it and kind of chart out exactly how many times they do it. But those are the patterns. What I just showed you, that's how the song is played. So it's a great song. Check it out. Listen to it a couple times and then start working on it. Have fun. Leave a comment, subscribe, and feel free to share this with friends. So thank you very much. You have a good day.